Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Minnesota took game one of the World Series, and now in the pouring down rain here in Cincinnati, game number two as the Twins seek to go up 2-0 against Cincinnati. And this is a really big tournament. This is a really big game because if Cincinnati wins this game, they can split and go into the Metrodome. If they lose this game, then all the Twins have to do is win 2 out of 3. Kirby Puckett with all 3 RBIs for Minnesota in game number 1. Game number 2, you're going to see Tom Browning here as the pitcher, very big. And Browning for Cincinnati against Tolliver. We'll be back, game number 2 of the World Series coming up next. Game number 2 of the World Series, Tom Browning. He's 3-0 here in the postseason. A 1.80 ERA, 20 innings of work, giving up 15 hits. His whip is low. It's a little bit higher than you expect because of the 8 walks. So here's Dan Gladden, fourth on the Twins with 3 RBI, ready to go here in game number 2. And Tom Browning to deliver the first pitch. And we're underway, World Series, game number 2, and that's going to be a ball. Gladden was 0 for 4 in the last game. Browning didn't like that early call. So it'll be 1-0. That'll be on the ground. Sabo to Saski, 1 out. So Minnesota, they had the same thing happen. Gladden would get out, then Tommy Herr would get up. Herr is on fire. Kirby Puckett's on fire. Urbeck Gaetti, Bush Laudner, Gene Larkin, and Greg Gagne. 15 home runs in the postseason, 2 yesterday by Kirby Puckett. Tommy Herr now hitting .306, and that's going to be a strike. 6 RBIs for Tommy Herr here in the World Series game number 2. Tom Browning. And that's going to be a strike there, 0-2 with 1 out. 3 for 4 in the last game, all 3 singles. He was absolutely going ballistic, white hot. In the last game, it'll be the 0-2. That'll be fouled away. Tommy Herr, .306. And the 0-2. And fouled away. Herr at .306. The 0-2. High 1-2. So Tom Browning here in game number 2. That'll be to left field, and Herr will fly out. This will be Cal Daniels, and that'll be 2 outs. So Daniels with the catch there. 2 outs, top of the first inning. And now Kirby Puckett, who was unbelievable. 2 home runs yesterday, right now MVP of the World Series. Let's see how he does against Browning here in the first, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. They have not trailed. Minnesota has not trailed since game number 5 of the ALCS. They led all of 6, all of 7, and all of game 1 of the World Series. So 3 straight games where they haven't trailed. 2-1 with 2 outs. And Puckett will hit it high, and underneath is Barry Larkin. 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the first inning. It's Minnesota nothing, Cincinnati nothing. Freddie Tolliver, he's 0-2, ERA of 5.40, 10 innings, 13 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, and Tolliver, not the greatest numbers in the postseason, but they're shifting people around. He gets to start today. Here's Barry. Barry Larkin now, leading off for the Reds, and that's going to be a strike. 2 for 4 in the last game with 2 singles. The 0-1. That's a base hit, and Barry Larkin opens it up with a single. So nobody out, and Cincinnati on first base. Larkin will be there. You're in the bottom of the first inning. You can see right there. Gagne didn't even have to do anything. And here we go. Here's Chris Sabo. Sabo's been having a horrible postseason. That's going to be safe there. Bottom of the first inning. Oh, they're stealing. Sabo, fair, foul, it's foul. And it'll be quickly 2 strikes. Cincinnati. Actually 0-1, that'll be 2 strikes there. I thought there was a second strike for him, but it was 1 for 4 double and an RBI in his last game. Had one of the 2 RBIs for the Reds, and outside 2-2. Managers have been running themselves out of innings with stolen bases and everything to that effect. The 1-2 struck him out, and Chris Sabo, that's right down the middle. 1 out. Tolliver with a strikeout. Larkin still on first. Here's Cal Daniels at 255 average, down low, ball 1. Daniels with 5 RBIs, and 1-0. That'll be a strike, 1-1. 1 out, last 4 games. He's hitting exactly .333. Outside 2-1. So Cal Daniels hitting .255. The 2-1 with 1 out. Hard hit. This'll go. 5-4-3. The inning ends. Daniels hit into a double play when Gaetti, Hrbek. There it is. Gaetti, Hrbek. Oh, they even had a few steps on them. We go to the top of the second inning. Here is Kent Hrbek, hitting .271, top of the second inning. So here's Kent. That's going to be a ball outside, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. And that'll be high into right field. Underneath this O'Neill. He'll camp though, and he'll get it 1 out. So 1 out for Paul O'Neill and Cincinnati. This is a good flowing game and a fun one so far. Not so much offense, but the ball's being put into play. Gary Gaetti, who was hot, and then he was terrible yesterday. 0 for 4 with the strikeout for Gaetti. Browning now. The 1-0 with 1 out. And it'll be a strike there, 1-1. Mike Fillmore, Valentine, Hillsdale, and Jansen by Mike Fillmore with the balls and the strikes. There's Luis Ramirez. Luis, good to see you. You're finally listening, and you know what? You cannot speed this up. You can't speed this up. See, you can't just go and make me speak like I was like Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse and going like you used to do. You used to do that. And yeah, you can't. Sadly, it would help with the pace of some of these games. That'll be Gaetti. If it's fair, it's down, it's foul. And it'll go there. It'll be fouled off. 2-2. 1 out. Nobody on. Top of the second game of the World Series. Gaetti strikes out. And the throw to first, that'll be 2 outs. Esaski at first. And Diaz got it. There's also other people watching. Sometimes I'll get up to 4 or 5 people. One time it's up to 12. And Randy Bush, that's going to be outside, ball 1. I get some classics on here, like Cyro 329, he's good. Legend Sports Universe is on here. Al Red Sox fan will be on here. Super Bowl tournament will be up on here. I get some regulars. Alan Griggy's an awesome guy and always wanted to eat his cooking. Oh, all the time. He's deep Texas cooking, crayfish and all that. I would sacrifice a night in the bathroom for his spicy cooking. It's really good. And this will be Sabo, and he'll make the catch, and we go to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second inning. It's 0-0, and I'll tell you in a second. All right, so what's happening is I took, because my stuff was in Karachi, I took the 1988 season and I put them in a, as if the playoffs were today. I put them in a modern playoff format. And I put the 1988 season into a modern playoff format. Minnesota won the ALCS. They won their first, they beat Boston in 5 games. That's going to be a base hit, and he's got 98 speed. He'll get to second right there. This is going to be Gladden, but not even going to get him, and it's going to be a base hit for Cincinnati. Eric Davis. Eric Davis, a heck of a runner. And you can see 110 miles an hour that was hit right off his bat. And he's now on second, nobody out. So Minnesota beat Boston in 5 games and Toronto in 7 to get here. Cincinnati, it was Cincinnati beat the Dodgers in 6 games and then beat the Mets. They beat your Mets in 6 games. So Cincinnati winning both their series in 6 games. It was Oakland versus the Dodgers, but Oakland lost to Toronto in 6 games. That'll move Davis to first as Herr goes to Herbeck, 1 out. And Davis in sacrifice position. They could pop this up to the pitcher, and Davis will still score from third here. So Davis at third, 98 speed, and here's the Esaski. 8 RBI, second on the Reds, 217 average. He has a 693 on base plus slugging. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the second inning. And that's going to be a strike. Esaski, the first baseman, 0 for 4. A strikeout away from a hat trick in the last game. He was good, and then he just went on a big losing streak, and that's going to be 2 strikes. When you watch pitches go right down the middle, that's what happens. You go on horrible cold streaks. So there's a good community. You'll see people starting to come in here soon, and it'll be fouled off, or maybe not. You might get 3 visitors, but as you can see, some of these videos, like my one got 267 watches. I'm like, how? And that's going to be fouled off. Esaski. That's going to be deep and in there. It's still going to be 0-2. A lot of pitches to Esaski in the bottom of the second inning. And again, he fouls it off. They're going to have to rub down another couple dozen. The average pitch, the average baseball lasts 3 to 4 pitches. They did play with 1 baseball back in the early 1900s. They played a full game with just 1 baseball. That'll be on the ground. That's going to score. That's Gagne. And he'll throw to Herbeck. And it'll be 2 outs. Yeah, I can make it go faster. That's my next one tonight when I do my Creators Cup with all your divisions. Remember that division that you picked? Those, I just have one pitch at bats. No foul balls, no anything. Leon Durham's gonna pop this up and end the inning as Gaetti underneath. He makes the catch. We go to the top of the third inning. Cincinnati has a run and they lead 1-0. Top of the third inning, and Tim Laudner. I mean, the next one, Gene Larkin. Gene Larkin was the guy with all 3 RBIs in the ALCS Game 7. And Larkin was on fire in the last 2 games. Browning then, and that'll be on the ground. Sabo will pick this up. Go to Sasky, 1 out. You know, you get the errors on the fast runners because it forces people to pick it up. Gary Gaetti and Kent Hrbek. Hrbek one time was a subject on David Letterman's top 10. Where is the missing E in Hrbek? Oh, that's going to be a strike. He did have those Rex Specs glasses, those Kurt Rambis glasses. That's going to be to the wall, and let's see how far he can run. There's Gene Larkin. He's going to second, and he'll throw to third, a stand-up double for Larkin. Here in the top of the third with 1 out, Gene Larkin. And that's big. He's been white hot the last couple games. White hot. 3 RBIs in Game 7, and then another hit here. He's on second base, 1 out. Ray Gagne, and that's going to be a strike. Gagne 184. Everybody's fourth on the Twins with RBI. I think that's a glitch in the game. Yo, 1 out. That's going to be high pop fly. Let's see. Davis will be underneath, and he'll make the catch, 2 outs. They throw to third and cut off. Yes, it is. It is Mr. Chris. I won't say their names, but I will say it is Mr. Chris. Good to see you. And it is Mr. Chris. So, yes, it is. And top of the third inning, 2 outs. Here's Dan Gladden. And that's going to be a ball. I'm usually on this time every night. I got college football today. I did college football. And it was really good. It was Miami and Florida State. You should watch the game. Miami and Florida State. It was 0-1 Miami versus 99 Florida State. 0-1 Miami versus 99 Florida State. And Louis from the Bronx has joined us. That should be your name. Louis from the Bronx. Yeah, you should watch the game. That was a heck of a game. As Louis from the Bronx is joining us. It'll be 3-0 to Dan Gladden, who had a terrible game yesterday, and that'll be a strike. Umpires always opening their strike zone. Okay, Louis from Queens. There it is. That's going to be fouled off. Here in Riverfront still, the people reaching for it. Louis from Queens, the king of Queens. I think I remember that. Here's, Dan Gladden. Oh, yeah. The 3-2 with 2 outs. That's going to be jammed, and it's going to be foul. Barely foul. It just looked funny. There we go. Look at the batting average. Look at the batting, everything. We got 6 people watching now. And they balled 4 and they walked them. So going to first, we got 6 people watching now. So probably 4 of them bots, 1 an unknown one. And we got Louis from Queens, the king of Queens. And that's going to be fouled off. Louis from Queens should be your channel name. Well, you got the Creators Cup going, and I might do an 86 versus 96. In about an hour, I'm going to, it hit Tommy Herr right in the shoulder, and the bases are going to be loaded now with 2 outs. And here's Kirby Puckett. Kirby Puckett now. He was incredible yesterday. He's 0 for 1. He popped out in the first, 2 for 4 yesterday with 2 home runs, 3 RBI. On the ground, it's going to be Treadway. He'll throw to first, and that's it. First pitch, he hits it. And Cincinnati has a 1-0 lead, bottom of the third. Bottom of the third inning, Bo Diaz, he only has 20 speed. We saw him hit a double yesterday with nobody out, and he got on, and that's Diaz will take that for a strike. I mean, that was the double right there with nobody out, and when he hits a double, it takes a home run to get him to third. I could do commercials, but that's more of a 2nd and 10 game. The 2nd and 10 is a football simulator that is fantastic. 2nd and 10 is incredibly good. And it's going to be 3-1. Diaz and Boog Powell once ran a 100-meter dash, and they needed a calendar to time them. Gladden's going to have to throw to Urbeck 1 out. They once had to do it. I mean, you had to do it by moon phases. And here's Treadway. He had one of the most shocking home runs I've ever seen in my life. That 2-run home run against the Mets that was just shocking out of nowhere. And that'll be down low ball 1. He was 2 for 3 in the last game, 2 singles. Cincinnati trying to tie up the series at 1. And again, there it is. That's another single. Where has this guy been? He's batting 9th. He didn't do anything, and then all of a sudden in Game 6 against the Mets, this guy was just living it. And now in the first game and the second game, this guy could be MVP if Cincinnati wins. That's the funny part. When you play World Series is you just wipe everything out, and you have people like Kirby Puckett, who was absolutely horrible in the first 2 rounds, and he's been amazing now, except for that last at-bat. Here's Larkin, a strike. Here in the bottom of the third inning, he's 1 for 1. He singled in the first inning. He's hitting 600 in the series. 600! And that's going to be inside, 1-1. Bottom of the third inning. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And Larkin, oh, that was by his face. And, you know, that was a face ball. That was going right into his nose. You would have had cartilage through the brain on that one, but he fouled it off. 1-2, and it's going to be 2-2. I don't know. There were some great second basemen. He's shortstop. He is shortstop, Barry Larkin, and that'll be up the middle, and it's by the pitcher. There's going to be 2 on with nobody out. Is he going to third? There he is. Puckett will throw to third. They got him. No, he's safe. He's underneath the tag. Treadway gets the third. Treadway gets the third, and it's first and third with 1 out. And here's Sabo. First and third. And Sabo, it's going to the wall. It's going to be 2-0 Cincinnati. Going around third. They're going to send him home. They throw to third. It's 3-0 Cincinnati. And Chris Sabo has just had a huge hit. A big hit here. It's 3-0 Cincinnati. We all know that you were saying he was a boss because of his glasses. He had direct specs. You remember Kurt Moran, that is Kurt Rambis at the same thing. It's 4-0 Cincinnati. They're really ripping up Freddie Tolliver now. And Tolliver is having, and we don't want to see that. There, thank you. Move out of the way. My goodness, that was an X-rated sort of view. And now it's going to be Eric Davis with 98 speed. He's 1 for 1. They're teeing off on Tolliver. Down low, 1-0. You never know with Minnesota. It's 4-0 Cincinnati, 3 in this inning. Remember in the last game it was 3-0. And that's going to be fouled off. I do like that. Isn't that neat? bases loaded, a bases clearing 3-run double. Something more satisfying there than a home run. Because in a home run, you sort of, yes, you hit a home run, it's exciting, but now there's nobody on base. It's like you start over again. But that's going to be inside 2-2. And then after, but if you have that, you still have a threat on second. Oh, they're stealing third. They're going to throw to third. He is out. They get him at third. Cal Daniels will be out at third. Let's see. Yep, they got him right on the arm. Good night. So Eric Davis, the 3-2. High pop fly underneath is Kirby. And that'll be 3 outs. The end of the third inning. We go to the fourth. The score's now 4-0 Cincinnati. To answer your question, you got Lou Piniella for Cincinnati. Lou Piniella and Tom Kelly. Lou Piniella and Tom Kelly, the two managers. Minnesota was Tom Kelly, and Cincinnati was Lou Piniella. Here in the top of the fourth inning in Urbach, that's going to be a strike. Minnesota needs to get on base. They really got it, and you did get it. Now the question is, who's the only manager in baseball history to win a World Series in both leagues? Who won a World Series, and who was the first one? Who was the first one to win a World Series in both leagues? And that'll be a strikeout, 1 out. Urbach goes down. Let's see if you know that one. The first baseball manager to win a World Series in the American and the National League. Do you know who that was? And here's Gary Gaetti, top of the fourth inning. So you're going to think I could see the smoke coming from Chiang Mai. I can see it. It's coming from Chiang Mai. Gaetti is, I could see it coming out of your ears from Chiang Mai. My goodness, you're working on it. And Gaetti is swinging a miss there. 2 home runs in the last 3 games. He was hot until last game. It was terrible. He's had a tough World Series so far. So Gaetti here in the fourth inning. Tom Browning. The 2-1, and that's going to be popped up underneath. Underneath is Sabo, and that's going to be another out, 2 outs. I just realized I've had 4.5 liters of water in the last 5 hours. Randy Bush, 0 for 1, top of the fourth inning, underneath, ball 1. Cincinnati 4, Minnesota nothing. The 1-0, and that's going to be to left field. Will it hit? And yes, it will. And Randy Bush, the right fielder, will get a single, but they'll get on base. You know, it's those 2-out lightning like this that people really underestimate. They underestimate the 2-out lightning. So you still haven't given me the answer. Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And here's the Sasky underneath the end of the inning, and he got it. Well, we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, and I will give you a clue. They managed one of these teams at one point in their careers. We'll be back. So here's Paul O'Neill, bottom of the fourth inning, 4-0 Cincinnati here in Game 2 of the World Series. World Championship. Cincinnati 4, Minnesota nothing. And it's going to be inside, ball 1. So the clue is the manager managed one of these two teams at one point in their career. And that'll be 2-0. So we'll leave it at that and see if you can get that trivia question. High pop fly underneath O'Neill, and that's going to be one out. It was not Lou Piniella. It was not Lou Piniella. It wasn't Lou Piniella. It was not. And here's Nick Esaski, 0 for 1, a ground out, and an RBI. One out, Freddie Tolliver trying to settle things down at 4-0, and that's going to be fouled back. You're right, he didn't win in the AL. He won in the NL only with the Cincinnati Reds. So it leaves it wide open again. I mean, there are a lot of names. I can eliminate some of the names if you want me to. Oh, he pushed back Esaski. Yeah, of course. They're all saying that. You got a really good audience here that knows their stuff. They're just giving you chances to answer it. They know their stuff. And that's going to be 3-2. Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it. If you will get it. You want me, I'll tell you at the end of this inning. That's going to be right field, and that's going to be caught, 2 outs. So I'll tell you at the end of this inning, you got to the end of this inning to type it in. When I tell you, you're going to be mad at yourself. And now the DH, Leon Durham. Remember, Durham played for the Cubs. And yeah, you will, because when I say it, you're going to be like, oh my goodness. And that's going to be a strike. They said he swung. And it's going to be 0-1. Leon Durham now. That's going to be fouled off, 1-1. No balls, 2 strikes. On the ground, here's Gagne. He'll throw to Urbach and get the out. We end the 4th inning. We go to the top of the 5th. When the top of the 5th starts, that will tell you the first manager to win a World Series in both leagues. Here's Gene Larkin. He doubled in the 3rd inning. Top of the 5th inning here. The answer to the question, who was the first manager to win a World Series in both leagues? There it is, and this might hit the ground, and it doesn't. Eric Davis's speed, incredible there, and that's going to be 1 out. That was impressive. That really was. The manager's name who won the World Series in the National League first, then the American League, was Sparky Anderson. Sparky Anderson for Cincinnati, and then Sparky Anderson for Detroit, 1984. We also, I'm going to have one more trivia question for everybody listening. The founder of McDonald's built what World Series team? The founder of McDonald's built what World Series team? So Ray Kroc was the founder of McDonald's. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. 1 out. Gagne is done. Tom Browning, a strikeout. He won with the 75 and 76. He was incredibly good. Big Red Machine. Now be down below. There's 2 outs right here. Now, name for me which team the founder of McDonald's, which World Series he built. And that's going to be 3 outs. I'll tell you at the end of the 5th inning. We go to the middle of the 5th. It's 4-0 Cincinnati here in Game 2. All right, well, Louis from Queens. Oh, yeah, you do. Because their uniforms look like they were working in fast food. Their uniforms look like they were fast food workers. Especially their road uniforms. And that's going to be Bo Diaz here inside. So go ahead, that's my hint to you. It looks like they were working at a Burger King. It did, and that was ironic because he was a founder of McDonald's. But the road uniforms looked like they were working at Burger King. So what team did Ray Kroc build that went to the World Series? He also founded McDonald's, and that's going to be 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. That's going to be jammed. Yeah, Norbeck missed his hit. And he misses. So again, the thing is, which World Series team did Ray Kroc build? We'll tell you at the end of this inning. And it's going to be a foul. World Series team. The Colt 45s for 1 year in 1962. And they are in that league, though. They are in that league. They are in the Creators Cup. For anybody else watching this, you get a chance here. Bottom of the 4th inning again, foul balls, and it's a 3-2 to Bo Diaz, and again, he's fouling these back. Freddie Tolliver doesn't have the oomph to get it past him for strike 3. So the 3-2 with nobody out, and they walk him. That's what happens when you throw 1,000 pitches to a major leaguer. You end up walking him, and that's it. Tolliver's done, and we got a new pitcher, and I'll tell you the answer with this new pitcher. Goodbye, Tolliver. 4-0 Cincinnati.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
Les Straker, he was only in 1 game, and he was all right. Righties hated him, and lefties don't like him. And you can see 4 innings, he was in 1 game. Right now it's 4-0 game number 2. Cincinnati trying to tie the series, bottom of the 5th. So the team that the founder of McDonald's built and went to a World Series, their road uniforms looked like Burger King workers. It was the 1984 San Diego Padres. The 1984 San Diego Padres. The manager of that team was Dick Williams, who won, when the A's won 3 straight World Series, he won the first 2 World Series with the A's. And that's going to be a strike there. Treadway, who's been absolutely red hot. Now I got an NFL question for you. Now we know it's the 84 Padres. And that'll be 1-2, bottom of the 5th inning. Now we know. So the question is this: who's the only NFL coach to win an NFL championship and an AFL championship? This is Randy Bush, and there's the catch. 1 out. Who is the only coach to win an NFL and an AFL championship? Here's Barry Larkin. And this is, no, it wasn't Al Davis. He never won an NFL championship. Al Davis never won an NFL championship. The only head coach. So be 0-1, 1 out, 1 on, bottom of the 5th. Cyro 3-2-9. It wasn't a, all right, we got some regulars, but this will be picked up. Gagne throws to first, they get him. They barely get him, and there's 2 outs. Diaz with 20 speed. He's on second. Again, you need a home run to get him to third. And here's Chris Sabo, a double, 2 RBIs and a run. Bottom of the 4th, they're trying to make it 5-0. How about now? Am I good now? Here we go, and that's going to be fouled off. Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks for Legend Sports Universe. Good to see you. Good to see you. We got a full crew in here. We got Louis from Queens, and that's going to be fouled. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second as we hit sound. And we go to Mike. Let's go 1 second. 1 second here. All right. Good. There. Maybe it would be better now. And maybe it's good now. It's going to be Diaz again. That ball's going to have to be thrown into the second deck for him to think about stealing third. Struck him out, and we go to the sixth inning. Well, they can't get Diaz in. The score 4-0 Cincinnati, and we got to answer trivia next. Sire 0329, good to see you. Legend Sports Universe, good to see you. Louis from Queens. I don't know, it's probably a PS5 thing. Maybe it's 1980s, because it's the 80s. It sounds like an old TV screen. Maybe. Well, the NFL coach that won an AFL championship and an NFL championship, the NFL coach was Weeb Ewbank. Weeb Ewbank won an NFL championship in '58 with the Baltimore Colts. And he won an AFL championship with the New York Jets in 1968. Treadway to Asaski, 1 out. So that's going to be 1 out now. All right, I'll give you another one. What Raiders? Yes, I did. Cyro 329, and tomorrow I'm going to try, or maybe even tonight. Tonight I'm going to put them in. Got to get early for the NFL, I know. You know, that's who do the Raiders have tomorrow? And who do the Raiders have tomorrow? As it is the top of the sixth inning, the 1-2 Kirby. And it'll be 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Struck him out. I don't like the way I always thought in the NFL, the first 6 weeks should be everybody. Then the first 10 weeks should be everybody else. And then the last 6 weeks should be straight division games. Straight division games. I think they should do it that way. And that means it'll be unique. But anyway, the 0-1, 2 outs, here's Herbeck, and that's going to be hard hit, and that's caught. So Wasaski with the catch. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. And Daniels, Eric Davis, Paul O'Neill, Cincinnati's owning this game to tie the series up at 1.
Leading off for the Reds, the left fielder, Al Daniels.
Yeah, that's right, 17 games, and Cal Daniels in the bottom of the 6th inning. Raiders at the Chargers today, and that's going to be a strike there. See, we got 11 people watching down. Luis Ramirez, we got 11 people watching. See how it bumps up. So it's going to be Louis from Queens. Everyone say goodbye to Louis from Queens. Louis from Queens, he actually was my principal in Thailand. He was my principal in Thailand. So remember that. He was my principal in Thailand. So when I did all those broadcasts, he was the guy that had to put up with me every day. And that'll be Guy Eddie. So everybody say goodbye to the person who had to put up with me for 2 years. All right, we'll see you later. Louis from Queens, we'll see you in a bit. There's Eric Davis now. 1 out, bottom of the 6th. That'll be down below 1-0. Really, this has not been what they need. It'll be 1-1. One and two with an out. Bottom of the sixth inning, 4-0 Cincinnati, and that'll be on the ground. That is Gaetti to Hrbek, 2 outs. Cincinnati scored all their runs early. It's 4-0. Here's Paul O'Neill. Fly out, and he grounded out in the bottom of the sixth. That'll be on the ground. They give it, and that's Straker. Straker's had a good playoffs, believe it or not. And we go to the seventh. It's 4-0 Cincinnati. Gaetti's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a pop out.
Number 8.
Series, he's 0 for 6. And this is Gary Gaetti, top of the 7th inning. Minnesota needs something here, and that's going to be a strike. 4 strikeouts for Tom Browning. He is still in the game. Might go for a complete game. It depends. And it'll be 1-1. Here's Tom, 68th. This will be number 69. High pop fly, and this will hit foul. Cincinnati 4, Minnesota nothing, top of the 7th. Minnesota trying to get something in here, and that's a base hit. So Gaetti gets on. You're in game number 2 in the 7th inning. What can Minnesota do now as Browning was pitching a 2-hit shutout, looking good. And here's Randy Bush, 1 for 2. Top of the 7th. That'll be down low, 1-0. With a single in the 4th inning. Randy in the postseason. Oh, how big this is, the 1-0. High pop fly, didn't want him, and this is Barry Larkin. And that's going to be the catch, 1 out. Tom Browning, what a performance. What a game. Here's Tim Laudner. 0 for 5. 1 out, top of the 7th. Laudner, then Larkin, and that's going to be Laudner should have pulled the trigger. Top of the 7th inning, Cincinnati 4, Minnesota nothing. And that's going to be a strike, 0-2 with 1 out. Struck him out, there's 2 outs. Two outs, 1 for 2, Gene Larkin. Doubled in the 3rd. It would be big even just to get 1 run. And that's going to be fouled off. You can't just say, oh, well, 1 run doesn't matter. It might. You never know in these types of games. Top of the 7th inning. And that's going to be inside, 1-1, 2 outs. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's going to be high, and O'Neill will run after it. I don't think he'll get there, not even close. They're a strike away from ending the inning. Larkin's trying to play hero again. He's going to need an S on his chest in the telephone booth for this one. On the ground, should be a double play, and should be 1 out. That's all they did. It could have been a double play. They just stepped on first. Bottom of the 7th inning, Cincinnati 4, Minnesota nothing. And Kasaski will come up. Bottom of the 7th inning.
The first baseman, number 12.
Fly out, a ground out, and an RBI. Hitting .208 is Sasky here in the World Series, game number 2. And a swing and a miss there, it'll be 0-1. I mean, Straker's done a very good job so far in the playoffs. He's been excellent. And, you know, one of these days, he might, who knows, he might start game 7 if there is one. Now it'll be fouled off. 4-0 Cincinnati against Minnesota. 1-0 Minnesota in the series, and outside 1-2. Nobody out as Sasky wants to try and get on first. Straker, and that wasn't even close. Well, Cincinnati can tie the series. That means all Cincinnati has to do. Oh, that's deep to left, and good night. Nick Esasky, a home run, and it's 5-0 Cincinnati. It beats that magical threshold of the Grand Slam, and it makes it a 5-0 game, and Straker has given up his first run. Lou Piniella's loving this, and Esasky has just made it 5-0. So if Minnesota gets a Grand Slam, they still need a run, and that was big. Nick Esasky. And now Leon Durham. 0 for 2 today. Les Straker, that's going to be a strike. As pop out and ground it out, Leon. Well, that's going to be another one, 0-2. We have the Classic League Soccer all made and modded today. I'm going to go in. Hopefully I get a response, couple responses. I'll be modding Pro Football League. I got a college one going, but a pro one. And that one will be big. 1-2, and that'll be down low, 2-2. Super Bowl one. That's going to be strike 3, and Leon Durham goes down 5-0. Pro Strategy Football, it's good. It is really good. Oh my. Bottom of the 7th inning, Cincinnati 5, Minnesota nothing, down below 1-0. What I might do is, I want to do my Creators Cup, but I'm also going to want to do 1967, 66, and just go all the way and replay all the Super Bowls. Be 1-1. I might just do that because the Creators Cup will be good. And I got my college football action piece. That's going to be high pop fly. And Randy Bush with the catch. That's going to be 2 outs.
Now batting, number 15.
Oh, they're out. They're out. Pro Strategy Sire 0329. The mods are out. They're all out. And they're ready to go. And what I like is you can download everything into one folder. Yep. Everybody was working on them. And the mods are out for Pro Strategy Football, which is really cool. That'll be a little tapper. And that'll be the first and end of 7th. We go 8 and 9, but Nick Esasky, that's the wrong uniform glitch. And the Reds have a 5-0 lead. The Twins, Browning's thrown a 3-hit shutout.
Leading off for Minnesota, the shortstop.
This is a masterpiece for pitchers to watch, a 3-hit shutout against one of the better teams, Williams, and the human indigestion, which is Tim Burtsis. Tim Burtsis, the human indigestion. And Gagne again down low, 1-1. 1-1. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Browning. Or as we say in Pittsburgh, Browning. Tom Browning, as we say in Pittsburgh. Fouled away, 3-2. I mean, 1988 World Series. Cincinnati 5, Minnesota nothing. In game 2, they'll jam them. Asaski underneath, 1 out. I mean, that's one thing Minnesota's trying to repeat. They beat the Cardinals in 87. And in 88 here's Dan Gladden. He's 0 for 6 in the series. And, I mean, they're staring down one game. They're staring down a tied series. There's going to be a ball, 1-0. I mean, unless Minnesota gets a miracle going here, it's going to be it. 1-1. One out, and that's going to be a strike. Gladden's looking for his first hit of the series. A lot more games to go, and the series will be tied at 1 after this. Strike 3, Gladden will sit down, and it'll be 2 outs. Browning's 6th strikeout. It's just Browning's day.
Second baseman, Tommy Herr.
You know, you get these games, no matter who you have. Cincinnati is winning a blowout game here. Toronto never did that in the ALCS. It's going to be 1-1. This first time Minnesota has trailed in 3 games. First time in 3 games. And on the ground, Browning picks it up. They'll end the inning. Bottom of the 8th inning then. Cincinnati cruising to tie the series at 1.
Your attention, please.
So Atherton will come in. He'll have a day to rest. And here's Barry Larkin, 2 for 3, 2 singles and a run.
The shortstop, Barry.
I'll be down low, 1-0. So Atherton, the 1-0, and down low, 2-0. So Barry Larkin, 2 for 3 today. 3-0. Chris Sabo will be on deck. And that's going to be a strike. I mean, we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. The drama is, I mean, you always get these in World Series games. Don't be surprised if Minnesota wins a game like 7-0 on their end. You know, it's just like that. Game 1 was 3-0 Minnesota, and then Cincinnati made it 3-2, but all 3 runs were Kirby Puckett. A 2-run home run and a 1-run solo shot. Cincinnati came back, they just couldn't tie the game. Gonzalez and Portugal are warming up. 1 on, nobody out. Chris Sabo, and seriously, people just want to get through this game. They do. The 0-1 with 1 out. Oh, they go, and they got a perfect. That is out. A perfect throw, a perfect pitch. They knew it was coming. Look at this. So 1-1, 1 out. Oh, that hit something weird, and it hits the ground. That sounded weird. I don't know whether it hit.
Up next in Cincinnati.
Listen. No, it just hit the That was a weird sound to the bat. And Cal Daniels now. So Sabo gets on, and Daniels high ball one. Double it an RBI. 1 on, 1 out. Oh, they're going. That'll be on the ground. Gagne to Urbeck, 2 outs. Sabo gets the second. So Sabo gets the second.
The center fielder, number 44, Eric Davis.
And Eric Davis, if a base hit now, they'd be up 6-0, would solidify. Already 5-0 is pretty much it. Bottom of the 8th, high ball one. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. 1 on. Davis, that's going to be fouled away. One and 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 and 2. 2 outs. High pop fly. Underneath. And that's going to be out number 3. The end of 8 innings. I mean, this game, the Twins are going to need a miracle. 5-0. So here's Kirby Puckett. Tom Browning is throwing a 3-hit shutout right now. Don't let them go the whole way. If they do, that's one heck of a pitching performance. That'll be a strike. So Puckett, who was so masterful in game number 1, is not this game. 1 and 1. One ball, 1 strike. On the ground. Larkin to Wasaski, 1 out.
Now batting, number 14.
So 1 out here, and here's Herbeck. Line out for 6th inning. High into right field. O'Neill will just catch this one. Now there's 2 outs. Cincinnati 1 out away from tying the series. A solid victory here, showing that they do belong in a World Series. Minnesota's got to be nervous because they started out with a bang and they've been getting worse and worse as this series has been going along. It is so big that they're going back home, and that's a big one. Gaetti with the strike. Gaetti is it. They got to get 5 runs. Gaetti to right, and it's quickly 2 strikes. 0 and 2. 0-2. High, and this is it. Asaski's going to win the game for Cincinnati. And they do. Cincinnati has tied the series up at 1. Lou Piniella and company are bumping fists. And right now, you can see Cincinnati, if they don't come home, well, they got to win 1 in Minnesota. If they win 1 in Minnesota, then they will only lose the World Series at home. So they got to win 1 in Minnesota, then they can guarantee themselves at least coming home if they lose the series. The Reds win 5-0. Browning is 4-0 in the playoffs and looking very good. The Reds 5, Twins nothing, and that'll end this. Give me an hour. And in the hour, we're going to have the Creators Cup baseball. But here you go. You have Gene Larkin, a good base hit there. But they didn't score. And you had Chris Sabo. Good night, a 2-run double. 2 RBI double. Sabo gets on second. Hal Daniels, look at him go. KO scored 4 runs early, and Nick Esaski, his 5th run. 5th run for the Reds, a home run, and the final out of the game, 5-0 Reds. Still work to do. Tom Browning, a 3-hit shutout. And they look good. We're going to go to the postgame. So Cincinnati 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 7th. Okay, Sire, I'm listening. I'm listening. Go ahead, let me know. What's the idea? Go ahead, type it in. I'll be on here. I'm just going to go over the box scores. Divisions of the same franchise, but different years. I thought about that. How you could have like the 78 Steelers, the 05 Steelers in a division. You could have that. That would be a 64. No, that would be a 128 team division. Because 32 times 4. Real quick, I'll go over and I'll think about it. It sounds good. I mean, it sounds very unique. But first, let's go Dan Gladden. I mean, for Minnesota, Gaetti, Bush, and Larkin with hits. Everybody else is a donut, except Gladden walked. Larkin had a double. Her was hit by a pitch. That's it. Nothing. Struck out 6 and walked 1 time. They were 3 of 30. 8 of 29 for Cincinnati. Larkin with 2. Sabo with 2. And some donuts, O'Neill, Durham, and Diaz. I was thinking of putting the top 32 franchises of the same franchise in a league and then simulating them and taking the winner and putting it in a league. So Sabo, Daniels, Davis. Esaski with the home run. Sabo, Daniels, and Davis with doubles. Sabo with 2 RBI. Daniels with an RBI. Esaski with 2 RBIs. Daniels grounded into a double play. 0 for 2 stealing as Larkin and Daniels were caught. All the runs were earned. Tolliver gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. Straker 1 run on 1 hit in 3 innings. And Browning, no runs on 3 hits. And the struck out 6, walked 1, a 3-hit shutout. Oh, that would be. There's so many ways. That's why I like Pro Strategy Football. I like Action PC and I like Pro Strategy. I do. I like them both, but I'm going to use Action PC for the college game, and I'm going to use Pro Strategy for the pro game. So that'll be good. Well, Cyro329, good to see you. Good to see everybody here. It was really fun. Very, very happy to see everybody, but now I'm going to go up and do the Legends League. The Legends League. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see everybody in a little bit.